Hello dear students, as you have seen in earlier lecture, we have discussed about an outline of five kingdom classification that was given by Robert Whittaker. So in this lecture, we will discuss some detailed characteristics of these five kingdoms. So let's start with the first kingdom, that was Monera, and if you remember, the Monera are what? These are prokaryotic unicellular organisms. So let's start with the characteristics of the first kingdom, that is Monera. So if you look the features of Monera, they are prokaryotic, unicellular, may or may not have cell wall, they may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. For example, if you take the case of Monera, here you can see the blue-green algae, which is also known as cyanobacteria or other bacteria. They also come in this category of Monera. So first kingdom here is Monera, which are prokaryotic unicellular, may or may not have cell wall, and if they have a cell wall, of course their cell wall is not made up of cellulose, as you can see in case of plants. So their cell wall is different from plants. The mode of nutrition may be heterotrophic or autotrophic. If autotrophic, they may be chemosynthetic or they may be photosynthetic, right? So another kingdom here is after Monera, we have Protista. If you look at the features of Protista, of course they are eukaryotic, unicellular. This time these eukaryotic cells are unicellular, or you can say these eukaryotic cells are having well developed nucleus and membrane bound cell organelles. Other than that, they have a special feature that they have provided with locomotory structures, or you can say locomotory organs, like you can see pseudopodia in amoeba, there may be flagella, the hair-like structure, a single flagella, that is in case of Euglena, and there may be the number of fine hair-like structures like cilia, they are found in Paramecium. Right? So these are some of the features of the organisms which are known as Protista. Mode of nutrition, if you look here, is their mode of nutrition may also be autotrophic, or they may be heterotrophic, right? If you look at the example here are diatoms, and you can have these, that is amoeba, paramecium, euglena, etc. These are the examples of Protista. Another another animal kingdom here is fungi. So as again you have seen that they are also eukaryotic, multicellular, except yeast. Yeast is the fungi which is unicellular, and they have cell wall of a complex sugar called chitin. Mode of nutrition is saprophytic, that means they survive on dead and decaying organisms, and they show an important feature, that is symbiotic relationship with blue-green algae. For example, this symbiotic relationship is known as lichens. If you look at the example of fungi here are like Agaricus, Rhizopus, etc. Agaricus is the mushroom which is commonly used for eating purpose, and Rhizopus is the bread mold which you can find on the bread. Another kingdom here is plant kingdom. So in plant it is, they are also eukaryotic, multicellular, cell wall of cellulose, and autotrophic, and here autotrophic mode of nutrition is photosynthetic, and food storage as starch and oil. And if you look here the examples, that is all green plants, they come under this category. And the last classification here is Animalia. Again, if you look at their characteristics, they are also eukaryotic, multicellular, no cell wall. Mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, and here also in heterotrophic mode of nutrition it is holozoic. And food storage as glycogen, or fats. Example, all animals, right? So here you can see here the features of all the kingdoms. First one is Monera. As you know, Monera are what? They are prokaryotic, unicellular. They may or may not have cell wall, and as I have already told you, if they have a cell wall, this cell wall is different from that of plants. Their cell wall is not made up of cellulose. A mode of nutrition may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. For example, blue-green algae and some bacteria. Second kingdom here is Protista, is eukaryotic, multicellular, and here there is a special feature. They have become some more advanced, and they have developed some locomotory organs, and these organs, they not only help in locomotion, they also help in performing their various activities, for example engulf of food, for example release of waste. So in that case, like amoeba is having pseudopodia, and euglena is provided with the single hair-like structure called flagella, and paramecium is provided with the number of hair-like structures on its surface, that is cilia. Mode of nutrition may be autotrophic, may be heterotrophic. Some of them are autotrophic, some of them are heterotrophic, but euglena is here unique in the sense that it can survive both autotrophically or heterotrophically. So examples, diatoms, amoeba, paramecium, etc. Next kingdom here is fungi, right? Fungi are again eukaryotic, multicellular, except yeast. All fungi are multicellular, but yeast is the unicellular. They have a cell wall, but that cell wall is made up of a complex sugar called chitin. They are saprophytic in nature, means they survive on dead and decaying organisms. And here in fungi, one more unique behavior is found, that some fungi undergo symbiotic relationship with blue-green algae. So what is symbiotic relationship? A relationship in which two organisms stay together so that both of these organisms are mutually benefited. Right? So that relationship is known as symbiotic relationship. So fungi shows a symbiotic relationship with blue-green algae. In this symbiotic relationship, fungi is providing the space for algae to stay, and in turn algae is providing the photosynthesized food to the fungi. And a very common example of symbiotic relationship is lichens. Lichens, as you can see, they can be found on the rocks and mountains and trees around the roadside, and they are very interesting that they are, you can say, they are used as the natural indicator of pollutions. They show a change in their color if the amount of polluting gases in the atmosphere is changing, right? And you must have heard about the blue litmus and red litmus. The litmus solution, which is used to identify whether a given compound is acid or base, is obtained from lichens. So if you look at the example of fungi, that is agaricus mushrooms, which are commonly used for eating. But be careful that all the mushrooms are not eatable. Some are highly poisonous also. And another one is rhizopus, the bread mold, the common fungi which we observe on our food. Another kingdom here is Plantae. Plantae are again eukaryotic, multicellular. Now they are having a cell wall made up of cellulose. Their mode of nutrition is autotrophic, and autotrophic mode of nutrition is also photosynthetic, not chemosynthetic. They are provided with the green pigment called chlorophyll that helps in performing photosynthesis. Here the food is stored. Carbohydrates are stored in the form of starch, and fats is stored in the form of oils. All the green plants, they all come under the category Plantae. And the last kingdom is Animalia. Again the organisms are eukaryotic, multicellular, not having any cell wall. Mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, and this heterotrophic mode of nutrition is also holozoic. Holozoic is a kind of mode of nutrition where organisms intake the complex food and then completely digest it inside their body. Here the food is stored, the carbohydrates are stored in the form of glycogen and the lipids are stored or fats are stored in the form of fats itself. For example, all animals, they come under the category or under the kingdom Animalia. So these are the general features of the 5 kingdom as proposed by Robert Whittaker. And in our next lectures, we will be starting with further classification of kingdom Plantae. Have a nice time. Goodbye till then.